Why aren't you mad yet? Like, really? You can't tell me that you see all this stuff going on and you don't think to yourself at least once, what in the world? This is bullcrap. There are people that are not allowed to eat because they won't conform. You know, drug addicts, they have specifically heroin addicts. And trust me, I should know. I've been in that environment. I've lived that life. By the grace of God, I got pulled up out of the mud. But they have a very bad habit. And I'm not even talking about just doing heroin or doing drugs or trying to hide from reality or whatever reasoning that they have behind it. They stick a needle in their arm with an unknown substance. When fentanyl came around, it was killing everybody. Nobody knew how strong it was. But thanks to China, it was all over the place. China's given us all kinds of weird little chemicals and things that we don't know much about. One, which shall remain nameless, has really affected everybody's life. And now they're asking you to stick a needle in your arm. You a drug addict? Do you want to take after what drug addicts do? They won't tell you what's in it. Could be fentanyl. Could kill you. Stay away from drugs, kids. Even if they're given to you by somebody in a lab coat. Unless they tell you what it is. All of its ingredients. Yeah, I saw somebody one time shoot up battery acid. Not a pretty sight. Really messed him up. Common sense is gone. Quite frankly, I'm mad about it. I am. It pisses me off. I think people would have smarter reasoning, better train of thought. So, flipping common sense. I tell you what, if I saw somebody take some medicine and it started making them flip-flop all over the floor like a fish and stop breathing, common sense says, probably shouldn't take it. But that's just me. You know? My body. My choice. Or does that not work anymore? I won't conform. I won't comply. Because I don't want to be complicit. Do your research, folks. Before you end up flopping on the floor like a fish. And God knows what else. An entire nation is taking up a very dangerous behavior that is reflective, of a very bad behavior known to be done by drug addicts. Well, they say it's good for you. So does the drug dealer. That's some good stuff, right? That's some good stuff. It's fire. Drug dealer even says, well, it's what you need to be normal. Drug addicts say that too. But this isn't a public service announcement. It isn't. Drugs are bad, okay? What it really is an indictment on research, blind trust, I know a bunch of addicts that trusted their dealer, and they got a hot bag, and they died. But that dealer still made the money. Remind you of something going on? Just saying. Jesus is the great physician. Medicine's great, if you know what it is. I've gotten all my vaccines that I know what they are. I check the ingredients. I read labels. Why is it not, folks? Because if you comply, you're complicit. People walking around with diapers on their face. You know those things are perforated at a microscopic level, right? It's like putting up a chain link fence to keep out mosquitoes. It just ain't right. You know, I think I saw somebody put out that when California was on fire, that the surgical mask is unable to stop smoke particles. That's a fact. Firefighters don't wear them when they go into a burning house. That wouldn't work for them. We want to keep our firefighters safe, especially from smoke inhalation. Did you know that the flu virus is like at least 100 times smaller than a smoke particle? Common sense, folks. Just because someone tells you, don't make it right. Don't believe me. Look it up. Go to a primary source. Don't listen to some other talking head. Ooh, dangerous thought. Like George Orwell in The Thought Police. He'd be thinking funny. I'm human. And I'm sovereign to my own individuality. My personhood is mine and mine alone. And in this great nation, I have the freedom and the right to choose. Or do we now? New York, New York. Mandated. Regulated. Instigated. Dictated. Can't eat. Can't shop. Can't do nothing. You're grounded. Till you go see your local drug dealer. Metaphorically speaking, of course. You know what another dangerous thought in this nation right now is? Freedom. Liberty. Don't believe me? Go to the detention center down in D.C. You got a whole bunch of people down there locked up right now. You know what they did wrong? Stood up for freedom. Sang the national anthem. Said that they loved this country. And they wanted honesty. Some of them might have done something wrong. I don't know. Some of them might not have. I know folks that are under the gun right now, they haven't even been charged with a crime. But the folks that are down there locked up, they haven't been convicted. Right? Our country says, innocent till proven guilty. They've been charged with misdemeanors. Right? Trespassing. But been in lockup for months. Months. Which is kind of funny if you think about, not funny, excuse me. Coincidental even though I don't believe in coincidences, that some of them have spent more time in lockup than the actual punishment for the crime they've been accused of. A misdemeanor. You know, every night at 9 p.m., they sing the national anthem. Because even though they're under the gun, and they believe those dangerous thoughts of freedom, how dare they love their country? They sing the national anthem because they love their nation. Even though those that are occupying space in seats of power are holding them under their thumb. Metaphorically speaking, of course. But literally, they're locked up in prison and haven't been convicted. I mean, do you know how many of them have children that cry themselves asleep at night? That their spouses are struggling to pay the bills and keep the house? Many of them have lost their homes. Stand with me to stand with them. 9 p.m. Sing for freedom. Sing the national anthem with them. I do. What's the worst that could happen? You might love your country. Really, I want to help bring awareness to their plight. They're not the only victims. Think of the children. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? What country are we living in?